Hello and welcome to Soul Love with Kimness. I am Kim van de Sande, your host, and I'm super excited to share another episode of Soul Love with you, where we share inspirational and empowering stories from the heart. We talk about the beauty and the shadows as both are part of the ascension journey, to remind you that you are powerful, you are magical, and to have trust in what you feel to be true deep within. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Welcome everyone to this episode of Soul Love with Kimness, and today we have the lovely Emma Camble, my soul sister, joining, and I'm so excited to share this space with her and to share her beautiful frequencies and vibrations with you as well. So welcome, Emma, for joining this sacred space.
Oh, Kim, thank you. It's all my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me on.
It is so exciting. We just shared a week of Glastonbury magic together, and there's also the idea arose within me, like, we have these beautiful conversations with soul sisters and brothers, and they can be so inspiring for ourselves, but also for others. So that's why, yeah, the idea was created to share a couple of these beautiful stories with you, and just also to inspire you of this awakening journey that we are all on, the human side of that. And yeah. So I'm so excited to, Emma has such a beautiful energy and such a beautiful vibration and a vibrance of bringing things into the world. So yeah, maybe you want to share a little bit, like, what would you have wanted to hear a couple of years back when you really started, like, your awakening journey accelerated? What was something that you know now, but that you would have liked?
Yeah, what a great place to start. So I guess I thought I was the only one.
Yes. Yes.
The only one who'd had this sort of expansion experience, and it was nobody else in my life had talked about this specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But you could look at your entire existence in a new way that was more open and spacious, and I just thought it was just me.
It is. It can be really a lonely journey, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, the idea that there's loads of us out here. There's loads of people who've been through similar, and just really to connect in with others who've experienced similar. And I guess that's what I've enjoyed. I mean, it's worth saying that Kim and I did not know each other before we went on retreats in Glastonbury last week. But it feels like we've known each other for eons.
There's just a depth in our connection, in our radiance.
Yes,
when you meet people that are on a similar level like you, there's just an instant connection, and you just know each other. But you also know, like, the struggles we all in our own way went through to come where we are now. And it's also, yeah, the honoring of our journeys and of our paths, and of, yeah, because it's not always easy, like getting to this state where you are being confident to share like we are now. There are many steps that we need to take before we can reach this. And also, most of us, and probably people listening to this will relate to that. It's like you are being invited to create something different, but that also means, like, you stepping outside of the group or being different. Like, these are not conversations you have on the schoolyard or whatever.
No. And what was interesting, the day before I set off to Glastonbury to meet Kim and some other friends, friends of friends, I went for a walk, and I came across a whole flock of black sheep. Yes. And to be fair, it's the first time I've ever seen a flock of black sheep, and it struck me as kind of unusual. And then I realized that in our own way, we're all kind of the odd one out.
It is
in our own circles, or just feeling like nobody really gets you. You know, you've got absolute love and for everyone around you, who's your friends and family, but being truly deeply understood by soul family is, well, it's been one of the most healing experiences.
It and is
inspiring experiences.
It is. Yeah,
just
but it's being seen and loved on the depths of your beingness, and through that you can arise even more. Like, yeah, to really, people just get you instantly.
Yeah, and being with other people who are so sort of tuned into their own intuition,
yes,
allowed us to experience another layer of kind of collective intuition.
It is
amongst our group. So we had very little actually planned.
No, it was just
in terms of activities before we arrived, and somehow it just unfolded in the most beautifully guided way. The places we visited, meditations we did, it was also seemed so beautifully orchestrated, and that's because we held space for each other's intuition, both individually and as a group of people just showing up.
Yeah, but it also amplifies. When you come together, it really amplifies your field, and also just because the funness, because we can do this awakening journey on our own, but when we do it together, there's fun, there's laughter, there is excitement, and that really opens up even more, because then there's less resistance in your field. So yeah, it's truly a gift. But I think for everyone, the more you stand up in your light, the more soul family can find you. And for me, like in the beginning, it was very lonely. But the more I stood for who I am, and the more I expressed my authentic self, the more beautiful souls came on my path. But then you have a totally different connection than before. You would communicate with people on this 3D level, but wouldn't get the depths of your conversations and of your, because what I noticed for myself is like these deep conversations, the authentic, where you feel seen in your vulnerability. Those are the things that create the most growth. It's not sharing like what I did last year, or it's not sharing the 3D experiences. It's allowing yourself to be seen in your vulnerability, and for that you need to feel safe. And that's what these spaces create. It's like
yeah. And the thing was, quite a few members of the group are pretty psychic, so there was no emotion that could be hidden.
No, it is not. No, it's like no. So
the moment someone had an emotional wobble or something came up for them, everyone was like, "Wait, what do you need?
Yes,
what do you need?
Yes,
to process and feel this." And
but it's also not being afraid. It's not being afraid of the emotional wobbles. And we have so been taught by growing up to not feel or to not express, or why not? That's also in these groups, but also just with Soul Family and with Soul System. That's why I want to have this conversation. It's like, you can show your vulnerability. You can show that you feel triggered. You can show, but someone else isn't triggered about that. And by that, you're able to transform it into yourself. You're taking responsibility, although people see it, but you're taking responsibility. And that just accelerates the path. And there's so much magic in that. But I think the world has just gone so far away from sister and brotherhood. It's like, although there is the potencies in us coming together, because then you create these vortexes of change and of.
Yes, and that was one thing I've had pockets of flow, I guess, in my week or in my day, where everything's felt like it's just effortless.
Yes.
And you're getting loads, but you're experiencing ease in what you're trying to bring into the world. And you hear about it in terms of all of the social media, managing priorities, or what, I don't know what you would call it, but looking back at the week we had, there was the effort to reward was just
amazing.
It was incredible. And it just gave me the experience, that the idea that I could actually integrate that so that I can live in that way more fully.
Yes. Yeah.
As opposed to just snatching the odd bit of flow when when my purpose is aligned with my state of being, aligned with my open heart intention, and all of those things kind of come together, but not in a jigsaw piece type way.
No. No, but just through. Yes.
It made it sound like a list. But I think the key for creating that experience was just dropping into my heart space. So I hardly use my brain all week.
Yeah, but that's how it's all about experiencing, feeling and sensing, and it's letting go of the mind and of wanting to understand everything. Because I also noticed that things are so, when we allow the universe to co-create with us and Mother Earth, things happen magically, and we are at the right place at the right time. It's just trusting. Also us coming together, we all had our different magic, but when we infuse that, it's also trusting that like in every life situation, that when you meet people, it is for a reason, and it is standing in your strength, and then each strength combined creates something magical. It's like, but even what I've noticed, even when you meet someone on the street and just say hi, there was meant to be a little energetic exchange, and then just letting it unfold. And there's just so much in that, but also it's all about just living it. It's not about only creating these higher spaces, but then also how do you take it with you throughout your day, throughout your experience. We're both a mom, so how, like taking that also in our home template and bringing those frequencies in what we do.
And how, I want to find out how you've done with that on your return.
It was beautiful, but I always, when I go on a trip, it's like you discover these new things within yourself, you awaken higher codes of wisdom, and my heart truly exploded when I was in Glastonbury. It was open in many different dimensions, and then you come home and then it's like I've been changed, or I've changed, and then my family template also needs to change. So it always needs a couple of days of adjustment, and it's like then you have the 3D cuddling and missing and that, but also like the energetic up leveling. So it always, it also in a way then creates a little frustration or a little, but it's like going through friction, because I've been changed and they think I'm the same that I was as when I left. So it's constantly me choosing to step into a different space, stretching myself, raising my vibration. Then they need time to adjust, and they do that beautifully, because I've been traveling quite a lot and been doing all these journeys. But and in a way, I think that's also just in families, someone chooses to grow, and then the rest of the family members have a choice. Do I choose to grow with that person or not? And I think for me, a couple of years ago, there was a lot of friction, and now I'm lucky that my family grows with me. But I don't know how that's for you. It's like, also sometimes it can be very alone in your family situation when the rest of your family doesn't see yet the power you see in expelling and growing.
Yes, that's it. So I'm moving away in our family in that respect. So we're kind of looking around the corner and can see how beautifully our lives can unfold when we bring this kind of open-heartedness to our day-to-day.
It is.
And just slowing down to really appreciate it. So one thing about being in Glastonbury and on the plains of Avalon was just being in nature all that time was absolutely lovely. So I brought back a little acorn that was on my path. Little things like that were sort of that's what made us feel connected to Mother Earth.
It does. And your superpowers to just see these structures and see these. How did you come into that? How did you?
In the first instance.
Yes.
Gosh. Well, I can't remember.
Was it like something you always had done, or how does it?
So the first time I experienced sort of an emotional telepathy with, or I knew that I could feel other people's emotions. As an empath, was with my family. So. My mum was actually doing the same for a friend of hers who was going through a rough patch, and she was resonating with the same frequency as her friend, and I felt it from her.
Wow. Yes.
So, but what was so strange, because it was once removed from me, so there wasn't any reason, there was no cause for this emotion that I'd picked up. It just felt it wasn't mine.
No,
because it was literally somebody I didn't even know,
Yes.
But somebody who was influencing my mum, so I was connected to her, obviously. And so I thought, I'll speak to Mum about it, because it's so distinctive. This feeling. they were really depressed at the time, and it just had this heaviness of doom. Oh my goodness. And I was like, I was just going about my day thinking, where is all this doom coming from?
Interesting. It was yes,
so contrasting to what I had going on. And then Mum went, yeah, I can feel it too. It's
okay,
but nobody else can, just us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And turned out that she found out who it was, and it was her friend. And I was like, oh, that's really, really strange that I could feel it secondhand. So that's, yes, I couldn't ignore that.
No,
up until then, I just assumed that I was just on the same wavelength as people, that I could feel their emotions, or I was thinking that maybe I was feeling them just at the same time as them. So we were completely in sync. I don't know, but yes. Then after that, I started to pay a bit more attention. Yeah, and it happened again with my brother and somebody he was seeing at the time. So I was like, oh right. So then I learned then, feeling other people's emotions, when you're neutral to the emotion, and you can process it in your body as you would normally, but you don't have any kind of connection with you.
Yeah, so it's not like it's something that is happening in your environment.
It runs through you. And then I'm thinking, oh, that's not mine. That's somebody else's. So just having that distinction, then I could kind of build my understanding of what my abilities are, I suppose.
Because most of the time we have these abilities since we were a child, but it's becoming aware of them, and by you then, but it's becoming, and that's sometimes the difficult thing, it's becoming aware of such subtle energies. And when you are constantly engaging with things that just like watching television, or I don't know, constantly doing things that are in a way distracting your energy, you're not able to feel and really sense and in the beginning, that is what is needed. It's needing your attention. It's needing you to sense like, this doesn't
feel awareness.
And then through that it grows and expands. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And now I use my empath ability in my work. So I actually, that's part of my first pass. Most of my sessions is I tune into whatever's presenting itself for my clients, and basically empath. That's what I do. And it helps them with the awareness of their own emotions. They can either kind of reject what I've suggested is coming up for them, or they can resonate with it, or it can give them insights into something that's happening behind the scenes without them really realizing. So I've made it part of my day-to-day life. I've integrated that intuition. I guess with because that's my superpower, being able to read other people's emotions. It's a sort of one-on-one thing. I can do it with groups as well, but I guess what I got from being with Soul Sisters in Glastonbury was the relationship with the earth itself and everybody. So back to my little acorn,
Yes.
Just seeing how generous that Mother Earth kind of connected it, how generously she connected in with us, and how it felt that we could tune into source energy a lot easier, because everyone has their energetic system that they use to do that. So
but I think also by us having fun, because it was the moment we thought about something, it already manifested. But just by being in this playful energy and by being in this joyful state, it was like, just playing. Because I think manifestation as well, it's playing with the universe, it's playing with Mother Earth, and it's just being in this joyful state and just allowing whatever wants to come. But it's like being in the openness of surprising and of and when you come together with soul sisters and brothers, it's like you can be in this playful state of energy, and in the end it's important that we embody that in every moment of our lives.
Exactly.
It's so just for a moment not feeling the density of all that is around us, and really by
the middle of the week we're expecting kind of to wow.
Yeah.
It was just, we're ready to receive it with our big open hearts, you know.
It was, yeah,
So,
it was, yeah.
and yeah, the universe listened and provided for us again and again. It was lovely.
It was lovely. Yeah, it is.
And it made me think differently about the whole manifestation thing. Because it wasn't transactional. It wasn't like a
no.
The whole idea of using the universe as like a cash machine, do you know?
Bank account to get out some. No. Yeah.
Because we were showing up with that energy that you described, fun and enjoyment, just joy, really, joy and love.
Pure
basically,
joy.
That's how we showed up to everything every day.
Yes.
And open to see how things unfolded.
Yeah.
And that just let it in.
Yeah. But also, I think also an important key, but just in general, is that we are also here to just co-create with Mother Earth. We are not only to take from her, and that's so embodied in our society that we constantly take or consume, or no, also be present and be grateful for her beauty and for allowing us to experience this physical life, for being, even though sometimes it's difficult and we feel all these emotions that we don't want to feel sometimes. It's like being grateful for being in a physical body, to be in this amazing experience of just growth and expansion, because that's what it really is. It's like sometimes it can be challenging, but it also creates enormous growth. And when you allow it, so much thankfulness and so much beauty and bliss, but it's
that was it,
always
the gratitude.
there. Yeah.
And I opened your book actually this morning, and it fell open at the section on gratitude. And I was like, yeah, that's it though.
But that's it. Yes.
We were kind of living gratitude because we were being so constantly amazed at how things would open up for us.
It is. Yeah. But also the reminder, in a way, it can be so simple. Because by being in this joyful state, by being in this gratitude state, beautiful things open up. It doesn't have to be hard or difficult or, it's like sometimes the most easy things are the most powerful. And that's also what I've noticed within my journey. It's not about doing all these highly technology things or highly evolved things. No, the essence is just being who you are, embracing, loving, and through that things open up. It's like, it's coming back to the essence of who we are. That was also what we did. We just were and shared like we would do in ancient times in these sacred women circles, just embracing.
And that's another lesson for me, has been presence in your heart rather than presence in your mind. So at school we're taught to be present with our mind ready to receive, and our pencils in hands.
Yes.
And it's a different kind of, you're paying attention, but you're not in your heart. So when you're present with your heart, it's huge. It takes all of you to be present in your heart.
It does.
You bring all of your energy.
It invites you to really be in the here now moment. It does.
And I think that's been, so last week was a new experience for me, to spend quite so much time in my heart presence, just because I was safe and felt held to do that, being with such beautiful soul family. And so
also,
I'm bringing that to my family.
Because we need to create more of those spaces, like you can just open your heart and be and expand even more. But also even though we're not always going to be in these physical spaces, but the connections are there, and it's stepping out of these, like we are multidimensional connected if we desire, and also creating more spaces where we come together to really amplify not only our own fields but also from each other. It's like stepping into this whole new space of, we've so also through what is happening, of course, globally the last few years, been so conditioned to step away from each other and to distance ourselves because it was not safe, or there were many things. But it is truly, the power is within us coming together, and we don't even have to do that physically. Also by sharing right now, a lot of energy is already being transmitted, and
in circles.
It's through us seeing each other and through us sharing and coming together, and that's also good for Mother Earth, because then we reunite and we step out of the separation and we step into unity, and then it's co-creating with all these different layers of ourselves.
There's room to receive in that space.
Yeah, it is. And when you look back now on your journeys the last years, what would have been like one thing that you would say to yourself to support you? Like if you would see yourself a couple of years back, what your now self would say to her?
Yes, I mean, just don't be so hard on yourself when you're going through any kind of transformation. Just allowing yourself to rest through it, and just thinking that I should be able to spring back up after just dismantling my entire life.
Yes.
And then, just like the day after, okay, now I've cleared that.
Yes. Now I'm ready to now it's done.
Now I can skyrocket. So
yes, it is. Yeah.
Need a recovery period.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, once you can, there's a moment of awareness where you see what you've been doing and the patterns you've been in and how unhelpful they are. Yeah. And at that moment, you're ready to just take the whole thing down.
Yes.
Basically.
And now it's done. Yes.
And you want the new already up online. But I mean, in our physical realities, we need to allow ourselves time.
Yeah.
To release and rebuild and renew and rest. I think
especially our physical bodies, they need more. In energy, things can shift immediately, but it takes time to let our body also calibrate.
Our little patterns that we have, they carry on running even when you're aware of them.
It is.
So that's I guess that's the thing. So you just become less involved in them.
Yeah.
So they run and you're like, well, here I go again.
Yes.
Look at me doing that same thing again that I always do.
Yes. But in those moments, it's important to not judge yourself. Exactly. Like to not judge yourself and to just say, I see you, I acknowledge you, and now I'm choosing to step into a different version of myself. Or I'm choosing to not repeat this cycle. But I think that's also important to have this support team around you that sometimes can remind you of this is where you wanted to go, not in the spiral where you're stepping in right now. It's like holding that space for you of the vision you have for yourself. And yeah.
Amazing.
Yes, it is. Thank you for sharing your light and your wisdom and sharing a little bit of your vibrant energy. And we'll do one more soon. I would love to share more.
Yeah, absolutely. See how we get on.
Yes, me too. But it's just beautiful to share and because that's also for me, there are so many beautiful soul sisters and brothers around the world. And I believe that it's good to share that with the world and to show the beauty of you and the beauty of me, and just who knows, whatever comes out of it. But it's just sharing from this honest place. And also, I think in the spiritual community, sometimes we only share the bliss and only share this is how it is. But we are all human and we all go through these different things that are happening. And when we elevate, it's like we have these bumps where we need to go through. And then once we've gone through it, we can elevate even more. But it's about becoming honest about those journeys as well. So this is also
road bumps along the way.
It's sharing that we are all human. We have these superpowers. We can do all these magical things, but we're also human, and it's honoring both in that. And that's also bringing the unity, because it's again shifting them. It's creating separation, and it's not showing the whole story. And I think we're time to. The earth needs us, but also the collective, to show our real authenticity, to really show our real humanness. It's like,
And that is being multidimensional. So that is being multidimensional.
It is, But we have so been taught, oh no, I only need to be there in the higher dimensions. No, you need to be here also in your physical body, because you are here on earth. And
feeling the emotions. And
feeling the sensations, crying.
Experiencing all the patterns that we're in, and
it is acknowledging all these different parts that we hold, like all these different elements that are us, and really allowing that to rise up. And it's also a powerful image that I got a couple of months ago was like also Jeshua being on the Earth Star in physical form to remind everyone of what they could do. It's like mirroring them, like I'm in physical form. I am this light in physical form, and I can do magic, but you can do that as well. It's like, and that was also what I wanted to share with this podcast. It's like everyone has beautiful psychic abilities, but it's you wanting to see them, wanting to acknowledging them, but also you co-creating with all these parts of you. And if you hit a trigger or a resistance, it's not you stepping back. No, it's by you choosing to grow that these come up, and they are an opportunity for growth and expansion.
Yeah.
And I think the more we share from this state, like we also have these things, and then we elevate even more because we know why we are doing it, and we feel the support of these sacred sisterhood and brotherhoods. It's like, but that needs to go out into the world. People need to hear, like, you're doing it. Even though sometimes you think, what am I doing? And there is so much resistance coming up, but you're doing it. Each day you're committing to growth. Each day you're committing to expansion. Each day you're committing to being the contribution you came here to be. And that is not always easy, but you're doing it. And that's the, yeah. And it's also for you, Emma, you are doing it. It's so amazing to see you and even though we only have shared 1 week physically, we have shared many, many more. And it's like, it's so beautiful to see the vibrant energies and to hear the stories. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So if you want to find out more about Emma, I will share below. I will share more information. You can find her, I think Facebook and Instagram, but you can see it below. And for the rest, I just wish you a beautiful day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you on the next episode of Soul Love. So for now, much love. And thank you, Emma, for being here. And thank you all for listening. Bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.